When I first discovered Shinkenger, I was, still living in West Virginia, and I had no clue what the fuck this was. It looked awesome as hell, but I didn't really have a clue to what it was. While searching around the same website that I found this on, I don't remember what it was, I discovered Gekirenja, and thought it looked somewhat familiar, and then discovered what Super Sentai was. Yeah, when I found the series, I was surprised to figure out that Power Rangers use action scenes and costumes from Super Sentai. But, I should have noticed it sooner, because I was always confused when Taylor from Power Rangers Wild Force looked different during fight scenes. And now normally I would review a Sentai season that got adapted into a Power Ranger season separately. So like for this season, I would review Samurai separately, but Samurai is basically a note-for-note translation of Shinkenger. So I am gonna give my quick thoughts on Samurai in this review. And if you guys want me to make a full-out review on it, just let me know. It's mainly because I don't think I am gonna make a full-out review. But anyways, for now, let's get on this thing. This is my review of the 33rd Super Sentai season known as Samurai Sentai Shinkenger. Our story is about the current head of the Shiba clan, Shiba Takeru. And he spent a while fighting the Gadoshu, which are, basically demons. When the Gadoshu attacks start to get a little more and more rampant, it's recommended by G to summon Takeru's retainers. And we see said retainers going through their normal lives. Runosuke is a kabuki actor, but during a performance he gets summoned with the power of mystical arrows.
Message for you, son.
And I don't know what the hell the crowd is thinking, but they have to be majorly confused if a fucking random arrow comes down and hits the stage where the actors are acting. Mako is, working at a daycare center where an arrow gets stuck in a tree. And thank God that no kid got hit by an arrow, else G would be hauled off to jail. Jackie, he's just walking down the street eating, and his food gets hit by the arrow. If I was him, I would get G to repay me for that shit. Kota, she's just sitting in the country, and gets hit by an arrow. If that arrow did not have a suction cup, they would have been down to Ranger, because she was the only one in her family that could actually do the damn job. I'm pretty sure her mother isn't around, and her sister is, sick. Later down the road, we meet Genta, who's a sushi chef. And, just like Antonio from Samurai, his parents is very unique. And even in Sentai, I haven't even seen a Six Rangers first appearance like this before. Getting back on track, the leader for the Gadoshu, they're definitely worse than Lothor. And I'm saying that right here and right now, Dokuko is a worse villain than Lothor. This dipshit right here, he sits on his ass all goddamn day and drinks sake. Yes, his threatening design is, very talented to talk without opening up his mouth. But that doesn't hide the fact that he's a bad villain. At least Lothor actually fought the Ranger. But anyways, Dokuko's goal is to, fill the Sanzu River so much that it overflows into our world. Mainly because the Gadoshu cannot survive in this world without the waters of the Sanzu River. To do this, they need to cause as much misery, chaos, and sadness. And that actually makes sense for Power Rangers or Super Sentai. And the story of the series is actually not that bad, and it's treated as a sort of modern-day samurai cinema. I mean, you can't blame me with this, it's in the fucking opening to the show. And if you don't believe me, the opening lyrics are Chambara, which is what the samurai cinema is called in Japan. For the most part, it works really well, and it's not 100% serious all the time, and you can thank Genta for that. Hell, I think he's the reason why I like Masao so much in Juoja. It has some good drama, and I think one of my favorite episodes is as early as episode 4, entitled Nightly Tears of Sympathy. It shows the ambitions of Mako wanting to be a bride, even if her food is toxic. And well, Renosuke, you gotta be glad you're not eating Mystery Food X from Persona 4.
Here goes nothing.
Because we almost lost a ranger through food, mainly because, well, the Turbo Rangers almost got baked into a giant pizza. But then again, Mystery Food X being baked into a pizza, I'll take the pizza. Mainly because I could probably eat my way out of that. But anyways, we also see how dedicated Renosuke is to his kabuki acting. Not really being able to give up that part of his life, even though he kind of tries to in this episode. And well, this episode also shows how kids aren't that smart, because no matter what belief you go through, whether it's Christianity, Judaism, or hell, even if you're an atheist, no matter what, do not believe a demon. Oh god. But now that I think about it, didn't you just kill one Gadoshu with holy water? You should have tried that at one point. But anyways, I'm getting off track. I really did like a lot of the episodes from this season, but there was one episode that I did not like. And that's episode 14, The Foreign Samurai. I don't like Richard Brown, that's all I'm going to say. And as soon as I figured out what episode it was, I skipped it, mainly because I just didn't find this episode funny. But hey, I'll give them this. I found the episode funny when I was younger. The only thing story-wise I didn't like is the same complaint that Linkara has from Power Rangers Samurai, with Antonio getting his morpher taken away from G.
Antonio, it's just too dangerous to put you out there without the necessary formal training. If you don't have the training...
But I do! Look, sure I did it by myself, but I can hold my own out there and you saw it!
Antonio, I'll hold on to this.
Who the hell are you? No, seriously, who the hell are you? You don't even have a first goddamn name, mentor, and yet you get to dictate who is and isn't qualified to be a ranger? That's his morpher, asshole! He's the only member of this team who actually chose, of his own free will, to do this crap! Yeah, that's something that's been bothering me about this team. This obligation put on the Rangers that's never really addressed. Sure, the Rangers express regret occasionally about wanting a normal life away from all this, but they treat the whole thing like it's a foregone conclusion. They have no choice but to do this. Their families placed a massive responsibility on these children, and I do mean children. We see flashbacks to a lot of them as little kids, and this job being thrust upon them. Every previous Ranger team was given a choice. Sure, some were in training longer than others before they became Rangers, but even they clearly chose the path they were on. This is all familial responsibilities that have been shoved onto them before they even knew how to spell. And before you say, well, Jaden gave them a choice in the first episode. It's been hammered into them all their lives that they have to drop everything for this. It is both their destiny and their responsibility to do this, and to do otherwise would be a betrayal of that destiny and the expectations placed on them. One of the themes of that Power/Ranger short film, apparently, was about child soldiers. I call it horse crap for every season except this one. These characters clearly have a lot of issues as a result of this, constantly overworking and berating themselves as a result of this responsibility. They're doing a hell of a lot better than many would, but it still was absolutely wrong. And then Mentor G comes along and gets to decide Antonio is not worthy because his daddy ran a fish market instead of handing him a sword and telling him to fight demons? Even Jaden admitted the time he spent with Antonio was the only time he ever felt like a normal kid, G. You denied him that chance. At least in SPD, when Doggy Kruger denied Ranger status at times, he had good reasons to worry about their development or concern about the future with the Dino Thunder Rangers. You're some asshole in a robe who's a glorified butler for the team, since I sure as hell don't see you out on the battlefield. Actually, I take that back. Even Spencer from Overdrive, an actual butler, was out on the field more than you. Up yours, you self-righteous, sanctimonious sack of grum!
Yeah, I read in some places that it's just about riffraffs trying to get into high society. But then again, that's only really with Tomba and, well, Renosuke to some extent. But even then, it's still the same deal with Power Ranger Samurai. And yeah, I get different cultures and all that, but Japan is really different than how it was in the past. It's more into, well, the modern era, mainly because all the tech advances are coming from them. I mean, just look at Death Stranding. But then again, I don't even know a lot about current Japanese culture. This could still be a thing. I just gotta still learn more about it, especially in the language, since I want to live in Japan one day. But the other thing I didn't like is the Juzo stuff. And, well, Juzo and another character named Dayu are ghetto. And it's not like places in Detroit, it's just that ghettos are half Gadoshu, because, well, I don't really know how they become ghettos. And while I may have missed something while watching the show, I just couldn't figure this out. It could be like a persona thing where their shadow takes over them, but I still have no clue how they just, as they say, fall to the ghetto. And even if someone tells me in the comments, I'm probably still not gonna care, because it's just like the Patorenjas in the new Super Sentai season at the current time. It just feels like the Juzo stuff was just, well, added on at the last second. I think throughout the whole entire series, the only ranger that really got any full-out development was Takeru, but that's mainly because of the secret he's forced to keep from the others. Though the others kind of helped him to, well, get out of his shell, especially during the New Year's episode entitled The 18th Head of the Shiba House. That episode has a lot of spoilers, so I'll cut it to the specific example in which the others will get him out of his shell. And that's mainly with his G impersonation. Takeru doesn't really want to do it, but with the help of the others, he breaks through his shell that I keep mentioning. Though I really love the main cast regardless of full-out development. Renosuke is a fun character because he tends to get way too emotional, but I do love his dedication to his kabuki acting, even helping a fellow actor getting his shit together to perform. Jackie is a fun-loving guy, which his name kind of implies, because depending on the kanji used, it can mean 1,000 light or 1,000 sparkle. Heck, the translation that TV Nihon gives is 1,000 smiles. And well, he represents that perfectly. Kotaha is a great character, being a stand-in for her sister, who is sick and well cannot fight. I kind of wonder what kind of story the writers could have put in place with Kotaha lying and saying that she was her sister, putting even more trust issues into the mix, especially with the episode I just mentioned. But, Mako, the only thing I remember from her is her wanting to be a bride. But getting onto Genta, he's just another fun character because of his personality. It's a little loud, but not to the point of being annoying, and, well, I love to see his ability to actually make new Zords, even if I have no clue how the hell he trained himself to get the Light Mojakara. I do want to mention Karu real quick. She came into the game late, but I still think she is good as a character. She does her best and knows when she, well, really can't continue the fight. And, well, that's it. And I also love that she doesn't take any shit from Tamba whatsoever. And, well, speaking of Tamba, I hate him. He's annoying. Definitely one of the things in this season that could have been dropped. The acting is really good. Each actor does a great job with their respective roles, except for Takeru. His actor could have shown some more emotion, mainly because I swear he's just staring out into space sometimes. Though if I had to pick Takeru over every single actor from Kamen Rider Ryuki, I'll pick Takeru, mainly because he shows more emotion than anger in Space Sight. The morpher is actually really cool, and well, until I figured out why Yusuke's weapon is a katana, I never got the reason why the team used kanji to transform. I'm mainly talking about the first 5 Rangers here, and the teams of samurai that came before them. And while the Shidophone is not just a flip book, but it folds into a brush. And well, they have to write the element. Now, it's not as simple as just writing their element. With all languages, whether it's symbol-based or letter-based, there's technically a correct way to write it. And well, they have to write symbol the correct way, and well, not only is that a way for them to morph, but it's also to literally make stuff from magic, like horses or paper, shit, probably anything like you imagine. The reason why I brought up Yusuke is because samurai need to learn calligraphy. This is mainly to help them inspire them to all form new sword techniques. In In fact, the Shudophone's so cool, I actually bought the damn thing. The Sushi Changer. This is actually a really unique way to transform in Toku. Well, except for the toothbrush. But then again, I am not a fan of Ultraman. Probably gonna get a lot of hate for that. I do find it cool that Genta is more of a tech expert, because instead of making the Sushi Changer a brush like the Shudophone, he just texts the symbol out. And the way he transforms is highly connected to the fact that, well, he's a sushi chef. If you don't believe me, it's in the fucking name of his morpher, because his morpher is literally, not really, sushi! And while the transformation sequence in general is really cool, with the Ranger symbol basically covering them to form the suit and forming the helmet as well. And while I do love the designs of all the costumes, unlike the first Toku review I did, I'm not saying I only like one part of the costumes, or with the second Toku review, I'm not saying I like one or two costumes, these are just great and makes them look like modern day samurai. The weapons are cool, and this is probably the only team that uses their swords all the damn time and right off the bat when fighting. And while I love the designs of all the Zords, though Shinkeno and its giant ass helmets just looks uncomfortable to wear. And well, I'm just glad I wasn't that suit actor. Shit, I feel like I would have fallen over before filming even started. The biggest thing music-wise I love is the background music. It's just my favorite part of the whole entire show. It mainly uses classical Japanese instruments, but it does mix in modern instruments as well. The opening of the show is good, though when Genta joined the team, I don't really like how they included him, which is like this. Personally, I don't really like how it goes, and well, it's a little hard for me to explain it. That's why I showed the clip, and I'm gonna show you how I kind of wish it went. Alright, time for Samurai, and yeah, it's not really a good show, but it's better than the anniversary season we got. And yeah, I freaking hated Megaforce, but then again, a lot of people did. Samurai focuses on the first Neospawn team with their leader Jaden Shiba, who is the current Red Samurai Ranger. As I said, this is basically a no-for-no translation of Shinkenger. And while they did change up things here and there, and that's kind of obvious with the addition of Bulk. And though we don't really see Skull, well, at least not till the end, we do meet his kid, Spike, and while Bulk is just training Spike via Samurai. And well, for them it seems like a last minute addition, mainly because they barely interact with Rangers. The only two times that come to mind is when Spike met Mia when she was morphed, and Spike kinda got a crush on her, and the only other time was when Emily became a drill instructor of sorts, and well, basically put Bulk and Spike through hell. The only other difference I can think of off the top of my head is Decker. His Sentai counterpart, as I probably didn't say but just didn't really care for, had a darker past, but at least here we actually figure out how he became half Nylon. Speaking of which, he was actually married to Dayu, and on their honeymoon, they exchanged gifts. He gave her a guitar, and she gave him Uramasa. And, well, when they were sleeping, the house got set on fire, Dayu dragged him out. He wasn't gonna make it until a character named Serrator came in and offered to save him. And, well, I already said this, but seriously, do not believe what demons are telling you! Jesus Christ, no matter what you believe, seriously, do not believe demons! But getting back on track, in order for Decker to actually be saved, was for him to be turned into a half Nylon, and she would have to be turned into one as well. That was her thing that she had to give up in order to save him, but the whole half Nylon thing for Decker, well, Serrator never said that. And well, I kind of like the story a little more than the Juzo stuff. And yeah, mainly because, well, you actually got a reason for why Decker got turned into a half Nylon. But overall, Samurai isn't good, but it is miles above Power Rangers Operation Overdrive, and Power Rangers Mega Force. How do you fuck up an anniversary season that badly? Alright, Samurai is done. Let's get to the rating for Shinkenger. So, now taking account of story, characters, acting, and sound, Samurai Sentai Shinkenger gets an 8 out of 10. This was a good season of Toku. Story-wise, there may have been some stuff I just didn't like, but overall it was great. I would have wished some more development for the other characters than just, well, Toku, but that doesn't really mean they're bad characters, well, except for Mako. Only because the only thing I remember about her is, well, her wanting to be a bride. The music is great, with the best background music I've ever heard aside from Persona 5, specifically Persona 5. And, well, at this point in time, there is still no legal streaming for Super Sentai. And for some reason, shows like Ultraman is on Crunchyroll, so what the hell, Toei? But anyways, for ultimate recommendations, I present Animusha Warlord / Genma Animusha. In Animusha, you play as a samurai named Samanosuke, as well he tries to save his cousin, Princess Yuki, after she got kidnapped by demons. With the power of the 12 Oni in hand, Samanosuke and his friend Kaede goes to save Yuki while solving puzzles, gaining new weapons, and fighting strong demons. If you like Shinkenger and you have PS2 or Xbox, you'll like that.
やる時にはとことん苦しい時でも縦横無尽に活躍わっしゃい